Folks, you can hear some of the jet noise in the background. We're at Georgia Jets, and we're flying today. And we've got one of Georgia Jets members, Steve Royer, sitting with his airplane, and we're just, this is our first interview style. And I'm looking at the audio on here, and it's crystal clear, channel 1 and channel 2 on the screen here, Steve.
Excellent, that's good.
So it must, it appears to be going in.
I hope so.
It's at max. Well, let's proceed with part 2 of our adventure. Steve, why don't you tell us right quick, how did you get involved with model aviation?
I started back when I was about 15, in the mid-'80s, and I started off with an RC car. It was a Tamiya Frog, and then I saw in Flying Models magazine there was a little 049 Cox Cessna, and I said, shoot, I'll take my little car radio, 2-channel radio, put it in that. Went down to the schoolyard, appropriately crashed it like most folks do. My neighbor, he was building an ugly stick, and so he was like my early mentor. So we got the courage up to get a Great Plains Trader 40 kit, and I built that with Elmer's glue and stick pins, and ready to fly it. And we went out to the local flying site, which was El Dorado Dry Lake Bed in Las Vegas, Nevada, just outside near Boulder. And came across a man by the name of Marjo Bunny, and he taught me how to fly RC. So it's been since the mid-'80s.
Since the mid-'80s.
Yeah.
And that's when it all started, and still going at it. What facet of RC model aviation would you say you're primarily, what's your primary focus in RC model?
Right now I'm doing the turbines. Obviously started off with 40 size glow sport, going through high school and college, and then had to put the hobby down, started job, family, picked it up, put it down, picked it up again. I figured I was going to go down the scale aerobatics side, because in Las Vegas we had the Tournament of Champions, you know, with Chip Hyde and Kike Samanzini and
Stricker.
Christophe Pesant-Leroux.
Yes.
All them guys. So
yeah.
I used to go see those guys back then. Don Muddeman, he made an airplane called a flying machine. He was part of the Cloud Dancers. I saw them up at Byron Originals in '87. So I said, I got to get one of those flying machines. So I scratch built a flying machine, and it was just a great flying airplane. Long story short, I lived here in Georgia probably 10 years before I even learned about this club. And once I learned about it, I said, well, I guess I'm going to go down the jet road. So right now I'm doing turbines. Still got a couple large gassers here and there. Got my old sports stuff. But right now it's kind of going down the turbine route.
All right. Well, going to hit you with a toughie here now.
Okay, go.
How did it affect your life and career? I knew it.
Yeah. Flying RC models flipped the switch in my head to say, that's what I want to do for a living. And I'm a commercial pilot with a global-based airline based here in the United States. 19,000 hours total flight time. And that's what I do for a living. So when I started flying RC airplanes, it made sense. The structures, the systems, the aerodynamics, and how to fly. And I said, this is what I want to do. Nobody in my family was a full-size pilot. And so we kind of went into it ignorant. And went to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, learned to fly there, graduated, and started getting a job through the regionals, and here I am.
All right, so you went from seat of the pants to seat of the fingers, back to seat of the pants, so you're in the manned and unmanned world.
Yeah, matter of fact, my first flight instructor at Embry-Riddle said, oh, you've flown before, haven't you? I was like, no, the only flying I've done is with you. He's like, there's no way. The RC flying transferred over to full-size flying so easy. And I've also found the education of full-size flying can transfer over to RC flying as well.
Jumping around a little bit, who influenced you most in your model aviation career?
Most, it would kind of go early on. It was my first instructor, Marjo, and he taught me to work on one maneuver at a time. So, you know, flying around and do one roll right in the middle, and then go back around, set it up again, and then go for 2 rolls and start improving that way. He also forced me, because I didn't like it at the time, before I was going to land to do a big square pattern around what we thought was the flying field. We're on a dry lake bed, so it's huge. So do a square pattern, keep altitude level and square turns, and do it left and do it right. So that way I could land left and I could land right. So he was a big influence early on. Later, I saw Bob and Patty Violet fly up at Byron Originals at Striking Back, and I thought, man, those ducted fans were really cool. When I was going to go down the Gasser route, like I mentioned before, Kike and all the TOC guys, there's so many great, precise pilots that were flying the TOC. Now I guess it'd be more like the Tucson Shootout and Extreme Flight and all that stuff. I didn't do much pattern, haven't done the pattern route yet, but I do like precise flying. I have an old pattern ship, maybe one day I'll finish building it, but nowadays we've got some great aviators here at Georgia Jets. Joe Rafalowski is a name that's been around forever, and if you've got a question, he's probably got a good answer for it. There's a lot of guys that have good techniques, and model aviators are like noses, and opinions. Everybody's got one, so you just try and look around and see how people are doing their setups and take the good and just kind of scooch off to the side, stuff that's maybe not as good. Try and find your own best practices and stick with it. So I look at a lot of people. I could see somebody at a fly-in and say, hey, that's pretty cool, I want to start doing that. Or just my regular guys here at the field.
Yeah, okay. Now, this is a beautiful, beautiful airplane, and being a flyer myself, it seems to, with this shape and look, have, it's not a scale looking, but it looks like the shape and the side area and stuff is perfect for advanced aerobatics. Share with me a little info on this airplane and what about it do you particularly like?
Very good. This is the Boomerang Atom. It's a wingspan of, I guess it's 1.9 wingspan, 2.1 meters long. Most folks are flying with a 140 Newton turbine. From what I understand, the designers designed this for F3J, I think it is. It's the precision jet pattern flying competition. So it's designed for that precision flying. It's got the big side area where the canopy is. That helps assist knife edge and point rolls and the slow roll maneuvers. A lot of side surface area. It's very lightweight, light wing loading, so a light airplane always flies better than a heavy airplane.